Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit LIONS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. It's impossible to ignore the buzz swirling around the NFC North right now, especially when it comes to the Detroit Lions. We're in the middle of a fascinating period in the NFL, and the Lions, fresh off a strong 5-2 start and leading the division after Week 8, are positioned as serious contenders. But there's a lot happening behind the scenes that could potentially elevate this team to an even higher level. And one of the biggest stories involves the Chicago Bears and their recent trade negotiations. You see, according to some well-sourced whispers from league insiders like Adam Schefter, the Bears, currently sitting at 4-4 with a secondary that's been leaking an average of 26 points per game, are open to trading one of their key defensive players, Jaylon Johnson. Now Johnson, for those of you who follow the league closely, is a lockdown corner who has been a critical piece of Chicago's defense. He's got a career total of 12 interceptions and 48 pass deflections, with a PFF grade of 89.6, which is elite. In 2025, up until September 15th, he had already accumulated 3 interceptions, 17 pass deflections, and allowed just 52% completion percentage when targeted. His EPA per target was 44, and he averaged just 4.1 yards after catch per reception, with a jam success rate of 68%. These numbers illustrate just how disruptive he is in coverage. However, despite his talent, Johnson has been hampered by injuries, particularly a groin injury that kept him out for most of the season, limiting him to just 4 games so far. When healthy, he's been compared to some of the best in the game, evoking references to Jaire Alexander with his precision in coverage. His man coverage grade stands at 79%, and he has a burn rate of only 13%, which is superb. Interestingly, he outperforms players like Terrion Arnold in several metrics, including PFF grade, which sits at an impressive 83. Now here's where it gets really interesting for Lions fans. Chicago, with odds of +9.0 to win the Super Bowl, is apparently willing to part with Johnson in exchange for a first-round pick in 2026 and a fourth-round pick in 2027. This move would also free up about $12 million in cap space, which they could then reinvest into extensions for young players like Caleb Williams. That's a huge deal, and it signals that the Bears are in a bit of a rebuild mode, focusing on acquiring draft capital and possibly clearing house to start fresh. On the other hand, Detroit sees a golden opportunity here. With about $25 million in cap space available, and still leading the NFC North, the Lions are in a prime position to capitalize on this potential trade. Losing Johnson would be a big blow for Chicago, especially given his ability to lock down top receivers. But for Detroit, it could be a game changer, especially considering their current needs in the secondary. Their defensive backfield has been hit hard by injuries, with DJ Reed sidelined with a hamstring injury in Week 9, Terrion Arnold dealing with a shoulder issue, and Kirby Joseph recently not practicing due to a knee injury. Johnson, as a player, is not just a solid veteran, he's a difference maker. His ability to lock down opponents' best receivers really elevates Detroit's secondary, especially when you consider the impact he could have opposite Brian Branch. Together, they could form one of the most formidable duos in the league, reducing the number of big plays allowed and forcing more turnovers. Johnson's presence on the field could also help improve the Lions' third-down defense, which has struggled at times this season. Currently, their third-down stop rate is around 60%, but with Johnson's elite coverage skills, that number could easily climb to 72% or even higher, giving Detroit more opportunities to get off the field and shift momentum in their favor. And speaking of the defensive scheme, Aaron Glenn's system is perfectly suited to maximize Johnson's strengths. His man coverage skills, combined with his ability to force punts, his coverage forcing rate has increased from 37% to 44%, make him an invaluable asset. When you look at the bigger picture, Johnson could be the catalyst for a Lions defense that's already trending upward. His addition would probably elevate Detroit's total pass deflections, which are currently at a decent level, but could see a significant boost. This in turn would help reduce the yardage allowed per game, from around 212 yards to closer to 172, making the defense more stingy and difficult for opposing offenses to move the ball consistently. Now, let's not forget the bigger picture, the potential playoff implications. If Detroit manages to add Johnson, it could significantly improve their odds of making a deep postseason run. Right now, their Super Bowl odds are around +1-0, but with this addition, many analysts believe they could push those odds closer to +450. Johnson would be the X factor in high-stakes matchups, especially against teams that rely heavily on their top receivers. Think of a playoff game where he can shadow a player similar to Amon-Ra St. Brown, or even better, provide that extra layer of coverage that disrupts the rhythm of opposing quarterbacks. His ability to generate turnovers, adding around 19 more in the postseason, would be critical in close games where every possession counts. From a strategic standpoint, the Lions would be acquiring not just a player, but a leader and a cornerstone for their defense. His experience, combined with his elite coverage skills, could be the missing piece that transforms Detroit into a true championship contender. Imagine a defense that can consistently force punts, reduce explosive plays, and create turnovers at critical moments. This kind of defensive prowess could make the Lions a nightmare for any offense they face in the playoffs. And when you pair that with Jared Goff's steady, efficient play and the explosive potential of Jameson Williams, who's currently managing an ankle issue but still has a PFF grade of 78.9, the Lions become a well-rounded, dangerous team capable of making a deep postseason run. And to tie it all together, this potential trade isn't just about one player. It's about a shift in the division, a statement that the Lions are serious about competing at the highest level and that they're willing to make bold moves to get there. The NFC North is historically a tough division, with physical defenses and competitive teams, but Detroit's rising star is now eyeing the ultimate prize. The addition of Johnson could serve as a catalyst, sparking a renaissance in their secondary and elevating the entire team's performance. It's reminiscent of how some of the great defenses in NFL history were built around a lockdown corner. Think of Ndamukong Suh's era, where Detroit's front seven was dominant, or how Jaire Alexander's precision in coverage can change a game. Johnson has that kind of potential to be a defining player for Detroit in the next chapter of their franchise story. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think trading for Jaylon Johnson is the right move? Would you be willing to give up a first-round pick in 2026 for such a talent? How do you see his impact on the team, both defensively and in the larger quest for a Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the Lions' future. Remember, I'll be back soon with even more updates, inside scoops, and deep dives into everything Lions-related, so stay tuned. This is the kind of move that could define the upcoming NFL season for Detroit, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Until then, keep supporting your team, stay passionate, and let's keep building this incredible Lions family together.